How's it going, guys? Gene Campbell here with Team Nucanoe, national team member for 2025. Man, we're back again this year for another year with Nucanoe. I got to tell you, we are super stoked. We love the boat. We love the Unlimited, everything about it. And of course, the organization, veteran-owned, American-made kayaks. Can't go wrong with them. We wanted to go ahead and give you our 2025 build because this year, thanks to us, just a couple other key players in this, we were able to put together what, quite frankly, is the most comprehensive and most, technologically advanced boat that I've put together yet for myself. And we can't wait to really get this thing on the trail out there. As you know, we are solely with Nucanoe 100%, and the True Patriot Outfitters, my nonprofit organization that we run exclusively the Nucanoe boats themselves for all of our outings that we do out there. So this is super fun. Let's go ahead and break into it. Let's get you on a full rundown of the boat. Before we get going, huge shout out to Militia Marine in this process, Nucanoe dealer in the state of Colorado, and Adam and his team, they're the experts over there, helped me really get this thing installed, the pieces installed the way we needed to make sure it's safe, it's long lasting, and it's done correctly. They are your authorized Garmin warranty center in the state of Colorado, so when it comes to anything Garmin, they got you covered. Another great organization that is a veteran-owned and Colorado-based organization is Fishing Specialties. For our live scope mount, we were able to go right over to the factory there, talk with those guys, and get this thing custom built for us, custom assembled, I should say. You can get the same pieces, same everything right off their website. Go check those guys out as well. All right, man, enough of that. Let's go ahead and get into the yak. All right, folks, here she is. This is our 2025 Unlimited from Nucanoe in Hazard. Hazard is the color we got this year. Super bright and easy to see on the water. That was a big deal. I mean, they can say what they want. This is Bronco orange if I've ever seen it. But we've got this thing decked from bow to stern the way we want it. So let's go ahead and just start up at the bow, man. And I'm going to take you on a rundown of all the pieces and the parts and kind of some of the ideas of what we had with this stuff and why we did what we did. So starting right up at the front, the elephant in the room, the Garmin Kraken. We have installed this thing. The Garmin Kraken will run at 24 or 36. We are running at 36 right now. I can tell you we can definitely pull this Unlimited. When you do want to, end up running this thing wide open, she'll go over 6 miles per hour on the water, blowing a no wake zone. But the key features of this thing, it's got the quick attachment mount here. A little bit of modification was required to get that on just right to make sure we got the balance and the weight where we want it. This thing, the Kraken, is going to weigh a little bit more than some of your other traditional, the 55-pound 12-volt motors. For all that extra power, it comes with a little bit to it. Now, a couple things that I'll show you down here. We put a 12-volt right back here, plug that goes into the gear pod from Nucanoe, and there's our 36-volt. This cable right here, I just have it, this is how I rest it for storing. That way it keeps the plug up and out of the way and doesn't get beat up. That basically plugs in right there. This is, of course, our transducer and our electronics line here, because the Kraken has a built-in transducer. So all of my traditional clear view and side scan, all that comes right from the bow of the kayak now, which for me is ideal. That's exactly what we wanted. For our nav lights, as we put electric motor on these, you got to have nav lights. We went yak power. Went ahead and ran these through hull, the wiring there, and went ahead and used some sealant here, and went ahead and screwed them in just to make sure, so we have adhesive and the screws on there. The red and the green, that gives us full visibility. Those yak power lights are super bright. Up at the top here, you're going to notice I have a couple lines here, and that's because I haven't decided fully yet. This thing's kind of it's still a work in progress somewhat as we tweak things, but this is my retraction. When I pull this cable back here, it pulls and knocks this down, pulls this down so I can deploy or retract the motor with just a pair of pull cables here, thanks to Rogue Gear, Rogue and Catch together helped me with the PC parts that I needed for that to make all that work just right. The gear pod, what's inside there, What you're going to find inside here is obviously our GLS 10 box for the live scope and our wiring. This is a lot of where the 12 volt wiring comes in here that helps facilitate a lot of other things. The extra cabling can all be stored in here. It's waterproof, keeps it out of the way. And that gear pod is it's invaluable. All the stuff that we can keep stored in there. I also have a first aid kit in there and just a few other extra electrical parts that I might need when out on the water. Now, running back here, you'll notice what the Kraken is connected to. We have a 106 SV Garmin that we have up on this here. Comes with a 1-year subscription with Navionics chart plotter. And then, as I said before, there's that Fishing Specialties, the new bar they have with our live scope. Got the LVS 34 on board there with their bracketing system. Couple key points. They've added this new stabilizer piece here. It quickly moves to the side when it's time to move it out, but this just kind of keeps it from popping out. Nylon bolts that go in here that are meant and designed to break away should you strike something really, really hard here. These should snap and break away. They give you quite a few. I carry extras with me. The base plate here, which ties right into the T-Track that we have, which, as you know, on the Unlimited, we have a ton. That basically is stable there, and that doesn't move. When it's time to move this thing, we can basically drop the handle down here, pop this out, and we can basically move it right into the yak for travel. Over here, we got a nice, from Yak Gadget, got a nice setup here that that allows us to put our tools and such up here. Any additional things that we want to keep up in, out of the way here, gives a nice platform, builds right in. Of course, then our Yak Power Center right here. We have this completely set up here on the 12 volt system that basically allows us to power everything from our bow lights to our midship lights that are basically right in the center here. Those are basically powered right through there. And then also, of course, our stern light, which this year we went with the max out LED stern light. That thing is super, super bright. We're very excited about that bad boy. That all plugs and connects right through here. We have full control on all of our light system that we need right there. Now, one other thing you're going to notice, we just added to this, we got the Garmin foot pedal in here. This Garmin foot pedal, I'll tell you what, I was a little worried about it because I got the foot pedal for the motor guide, and it had a few things about it that I did not appreciate or like. This Garmin foot pedal has solved all those. Number one, it's got a tensioner knob on the other side over here, so you can control just how much pressure is required to move this thing. Number two, there's no massive spring inside here that requires a tremendous amount of foot pressure to get it to move, so you're not overcorrecting with it. Nice big and easy anchor mode buttons here, heading deal, and then of course your on off. One quick LED to see the whole thing. It pairs up Bluetooth with the Kraken. It's designed and meant to roll with that, and I can utilize my remote at the same time, so it allows me full control there with my feet. I can be hands-free, and if I want to fine-tune things or I need stuff from the remote, I can get that there. We'll slide over to the other side here real quick. Of course, we got our catch board set up here up on top. We keep it basically locked up here out of the way until we need it. All provided with our Rogue tethers that we have, so in case we let go of this bad boy or whatever, she's not going to go to the bottom of the drink. When I travel, I keep the transducer hole, the center scupper, I keep that out just for drainage. Makes things a lot easier. Got our retraction cable over here. This is for the rudder. The rudder that we hold on this, we've static mounted. I'll show you that when we get to the bow or the stern of the boat. We use it basically as a skeg. It stabilizes the back of the boat, so we're not getting tail sway all over the place. And that's our retraction for that. When we're loading and unloading, we'll retract. When we're stored or up in the bed of the truck, then we pull it. We let it down there. Of course, got all the unlimited features of track for miles. We got the extra storage across this bad boy. Our 360 Fusion seat that completely swivels here. So we can do what we need to do. Got our bending branches paddle. Truth be told, I should have gone just a little bit longer. That 250 is just barely you know, I mean, if you see me paddling, it means something bad's happened in there. So it's mainly just for that loading and unloading when we're getting close to shore. We use that, or in case of emergencies. Speaking of emergencies, we do keep a throw bag in here. My old dive rescue days. We got a rescue bag that we keep in there. It's easily accessible. Pop this and this thing comes off, and then I can take it and use it to throw. That keeps me from having to go in the water, and we can help people out if needs be. Our little Frankenstein net that we got, we picked up one of those floating nets that had the handle about this long, and then this is an old tiller handle adjustment that we just increased the size, used some hockey tape, and now I have a telescoping net that we use. I travel with it like this, obviously till we get out to where we need to, and then I can move the net up to the front there. Oh, I passed one thing by here. This is a wireless charging yak power mount that we utilize. It also doubles as a camera mount for me with my phone. So if I'm ever worried about having charging issues, all I do is take the phone, lock it into this bad boy here, lock it in there, and bang, I get wireless charging that starts happening. So I always make sure I've got power going to the phone. Never going to be an issue when I'm out on the water there, of course, unless we lose power. All right, so going back here, we have the Blackpack Pro. I'll move the net out of the way real quick. We got the Blackpack Pro with 3 rod holders on each side, so giving us a room for 6 there. We do have the short stack on top, so quick and easy access to everything we need in here, paired with another Blackpack Pro that as you see is in our same lovely Bronco orange there. This is our battery pack, and I'll pop this open and show you guys some of that stuff here. But we add an additional 2 there. So what that gives us is a capability of 10 easily accessible rods. I'll show you on the other side. If I really want to get ridiculous, we could put probably another 2 or 3 rods on the other side on the horizontal mount if we desired to do that. But the Yak Attack Blackpack Pros, man, these things are phenomenal boxes. They're built strong, fully customizable. You can set it up exactly how you want it and what you need. Speaking of customizing, these were rod holders on the back, and to be honest with you, they're kind of useless for me considering how much further ahead I am. Could never really get to them because they were angled back. So we put the delete plates on here from Ketch. These things are built specifically for the Unlimited. They fit on nice and tight and snug with the existing gasket. Super cool, and we've got even additional more track in here. Militia Marine helped us, and they took care of the install when it came to that 36 volt, making sure we got the proper kind of wiring, size, gauge, and mounting with all of our connectors. That's basically plugged in right here. This side is our 36 volt, and then running over to the other side is our 12 volt. This powers everything to the front of the boat. And I'll show you inside here momentarily what we have. This is our rudder system. It's the Nucanoe rudder that we have with a retraction cable on there. And basically all we did, like I said, is I popped out on the other side, a screw on the other side, and then tapped into the metal plate to create a static mount. So this thing cannot turn, it won't budge around on you. All it will do is you can pull it up and knock it out of the way. So in case you hit something, it'll pop up. And when you travel and you want to get this up so you're not dragging through the mud or the rocks or whatever, it'll take care of that for you. On the back here, the Max Out LED super bright transom light to make sure that we are Coast Guard compliant with all the state regulations and such. And went ahead and mounted straight in here, sealed it up completely. This allows me basically when I travel, I can pop this thing out to protect it. I can also loosen this here and it drops down and tucks away perfectly where we want it. And we close everything up for travel. All right, so let's go ahead and break into the box here real quick. All right, let's go ahead and break into the power box that we have here. We'll come around to this side. All right, so basically how I have it set up is basically so that the lid opens this way. That was just done in case I do need to get in here. I didn't want it to interfere with my tackle. So what you'll see here, I run this just for extra cushioning and protection in there. We'll move that out of the way. We are powered to the teeth with Amped Outdoors, the #1 best lithium outdoor battery in my opinion that you can run out here. We got a 36 volt 50 amp hour. This thing runs like a dream and lasts forever. Super easy to recharge for this big battery. With the built-in Bluetooth monitoring, we can always tell exactly where our power's at and how things are going. Thanks to Militia Marine, we got a 60 amp breaker in here. As you see, I got it tripped. I keep it tripped for when we travel. That way there's never an issue with the plug when it's stowed, and I'll show you how we stow them here. Never an issue with that. Always a good tip there is just keep that thing tripped. When it's time to go, click, and now we're good to go. That's part of the process. When we're done, press the button. Actually, I just realized I didn't have you on camera. So right here, click. Now we got power. Everything's juiced. Right here's the breaker. Boom. Now we're safe. So that way, in case the plug were to make contact with something, but that's completely wired up and full setup. We've got our built-in charger port right here as well. You notice I keep a hand-dandy little El Cheapo screwdriver in there just in case we're going to need it. Now, one other piece that we also suggest is this is for the 12 volt. I'll show you what I've got here, but this is the fuse. It's a 30 amp fuse that's in line here. And what I do with that when we're all done and this thing's getting put up is I take this out and I pop that out and I put it in one of my Trocar packs that we have. Real thick, good, sturdy plastic. Put it in there and just stow it right back in here for travel. When it comes time to use and this goes in the boat, then I install it there. Now I've got power again. What we've done is we've connected two 30 amp hour batteries together, 12 volt, to give us 60 amp hours of power here. That right there controls through this connection and running up to our yak power supply unit up there. That controls everything we need for 12 volts, from our live scope to our lights to the Garmin 106 SV, everything on the front end and all the way including the max out LED. All of that gets powered right through here, and 60 amp hours seems to be about perfect for us on what we need for a full day. So that is installed the way it should be installed, and it's in there nice and snug. We've got everything in there. Again, Militia Marine, putting the amped outdoor batteries exactly where they need to be and set up. Now I'll show you how we travel with this too. One little deal that I did that seems to work. We gave ourselves just enough line on this, and as I said before, I've got these extra rod holders. When I travel, just basically pop this out of there. This goes right in, and then I take this tether protector over and lock it in like so. I do the same thing with the 12 volt right on this one right here. That's basically how we travel with them. And with the breakers popped on there, there's no worry then. The plug is protected. It's out of the way. It's not going to bump or touch into anything whatsoever. Everything is good to go. Now, to make sure, if the inevitable happens, if something really bad and we see, you know, this thing somehow, some freak of nature happens to flip the Unlimited, which I've never seen it yet, but, you know, who knows? What we've got is our extra tie-down, extra heavy-duty tie-down straps. Now, I cut this thing down because this was a lot longer than this, but I cut it down here. It runs through one of our setups down here from Yak Attack, and it runs through the handle piece. So this, because there's quite a few dollars worth of batteries in there, we don't want that going anywhere. So this heavy-duty buckle system here, this we've got the same on the other side. That keeps this in place should there be any issue whatsoever. So that's our kind of our safety piece there. Here we've just got our paracord bungee set up on all four connections all the way around. This right here is from Yak Attack. This is basically our staging. When I'm anytime I'm changing out lures or doing whatever, I simply from the right side can slide and just lock the pole in right here, and basically that gives me a place so I can deal up front here with everything that I need to on the bait. If I'm changing out treble hooks or whatever I'm doing, this is a good staging piece connection here for me. Remember what I said, if I wanted to add more, I could. Well, that's this setup right here. We've got basically a horizontal setup that I could actually, and I can deploy the other one, which is right there. We could get another 2 to 3 rods in here comfortably for quick staging. A lot of times what I'll do with those is I'll put like follow-up baits, like a sink a worm or a creature bait of some kind, especially if I'm out fishing topwater or whatever the case may be, and we get a blow up and they miss, we can do a real quick exchange there for a follow-up bait. So we have more than enough rod storage. Like I said, 10 easily accessible, and we could probably go to 12 or 13 if we really wanted to. But nevertheless, that really what we've been trying to do is actually trim and get everything back. So here is also one other piece that we picked up at Yak Gadget. This was a nice, it bolts right to the side, gives a place quick for cutters, and what I use this for is soft plastics here. Now it didn't come with a hole in the bottom, so we had to drill a little hole in there to make sure we drain water out there, but just a place that I can store trash or whatever else I need throughout the deal. You know, one of the last cool things I wanted to show you here that's just showing you just that Fishing Specialties is thinking forward. This piece is designed to break away should you strike something really hard. The last thing they want is they don't want this whole thing to sit here and snap and bend and tear your kayak up. So that's why these nylon bolts are in places, so that this breaks away. Well, in the event that this breaks away, I've seen a situation, a good buddy of mine lost this piece. It took off on him. Went to the bottom of the drink. You get this back because you got your, you got your tether line here, basically, which is your transducer line, so you can always pull this whole piece back. But what they have is this tether piece here, this cable. So what I did is I screwed it into the top there, we roll it all the way back, and I wrapped it around here. So in the event that does occur, I'm going to get this piece back because I've got it tethered off here to that little secure cable. So just a little extra insurance here and there. Well, that's it, guys. That is our rig. That is the 2025 Unlimited from Militia Marine and Nucanoe. She's a beast. She is ready to go. We're ready to get the season started with the Colorado Kayak Bassmasters. That's pretty much where we competitively fish now. And of course, more importantly, the True Patriot Outfitters. That is basically our number one goal, is to be able to take people out and give them a good experience, get them on fish quickly, and take these warriors out there and give them some memories for a lifetime, man. So doing it, like they say, it takes a village, right, to put it all together. Companies, Nucanoe, Militia Marine, freaking Yak Attack, Fishing Specialties, Eagle Claw, Trocar, Catch, Rogue. I mean, the list goes on. Of course, Militia Marine putting this Amped Outdoors, Garmin. Most of these companies I'm not sponsored by whatsoever, but we rely on their products and we use them in all of our kayaks because they work and they're good stuff. So hopefully that gave you some cool ideas. If you have any questions or suggestions, anything along those lines, man, hit me up. Appreciate it. Tight lines.